Sunday night, a Delaware bankruptcy court. iRobot, the company behind your trusted Roomba vacuum, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The same device that's been quietly cleaning your floors for decades. Its maker just ran out of money. $24.8 million. That's all the cash iRobot had left as of September 27th, down from $40.6 million just 3 months earlier. For a company that once seemed destined for a $1.4 billion payday, this collapse feels impossible. But here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just another corporate casualty. This is the story of how regulatory red tape and global trade wars destroyed an American robotics pioneer. Colin Angle founded iRobot with a simple dream: robots that would make our lives easier. For 35 years, his company delivered on that promise. The Roomba became a household name, quietly revolutionizing how millions of families clean their homes. By 2022, iRobot seemed unstoppable. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy saw the potential, announcing a massive $1.4 billion acquisition deal. For Angle and his team, it felt like validation of decades of innovation. Your Roomba wasn't just a gadget anymore, it was worth billions. But regulatory authorities in Europe had other plans. They viewed Amazon's dominance in smart homes as a threat to competition. Despite months of negotiations and proposed concessions, European regulators wouldn't budge. Early 2024 brought devastating news. The Amazon deal collapsed entirely. Jassy later called it a sad story and an example of regulation gone wrong. But the story doesn't end there. Without Amazon's financial backing, iRobot found itself exposed to brutal market realities. Chinese manufacturers flooded the market with cheaper robot vacuums, undercutting prices. Trade tariffs slammed the company with an additional $23 million in costs during 2025 alone. Current CEO Gary Cohen watched helplessly as revenue plummeted 23% to just $127.6 million in the second quarter. The numbers were, in his words, well below our internal expectations due to continuing market headwinds, ongoing production delays, and unforeseen shipping disruptions. And it gets worse. Desperate to survive, iRobot made painful cuts. 350 employees, 31% of the workforce, lost their jobs. Founder Colin Angle, the visionary who built the company from nothing, stepped down as CEO. Research and development spending, the lifeblood of any tech company, crashed by nearly 60% from the first quarter of 2024 to 2025. The company that once pioneered household robotics was now cannibalizing its own future. Late 2024 brought one final hope. Another potential buyer emerged. Exclusive negotiations stretched on for months while iRobot burned through its remaining cash reserves. Employees held their breath. Shareholders prayed for a miracle. Then the buyer walked away. By September 27th, iRobot was so desperate they withdrew $5 million from restricted cash, money that should have been untouchable. Their own bankruptcy filing admitted they had no sources upon which it can draw for additional capital. The company expressed substantial doubt about its ability to continue operating. Think about this the next time your Roomba glides across your living room floor. That quiet, reliable robot represents more than convenience. It represents what happens when regulatory interference destroys American innovation. iRobot didn't fail because their products were inferior. They didn't collapse because consumers stopped buying. They fell because bureaucrats blocked a lifeline deal, leaving them vulnerable to foreign competition and crushing trade costs. 35 years of robotics innovation reduced to a bankruptcy filing in a Delaware courthouse. The company that put robots in millions of homes couldn't navigate the maze of global regulations and trade wars. This isn't just iRobot's tragedy. It's a warning about what happens when politics interferes with progress. Your Roomba might still work perfectly, but the dream that created it just died. Subscribe for more deep dives into the deals that never were.